Today was the final day of the legislature's short session, and on their way out of town, Republican leaders sent a bill to the governor that some say targets immigrant communities. I'm Lena Tillett.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. Thanks for joining us. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joins us live from the legislature with that last-minute action. So, Laura, break down this bill for us.
You know, Chris, state lawmakers have voted once again along party lines to require local sheriffs to assist U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And that's after several black sheriffs in urban counties, including Wake and Durham, pledge not to assist immigration officials. The bill would require all sheriffs to check for an ICE detainer on anyone arrested for a violent crime whose immigration status can't be confirmed. Sheriffs would be required to hold those suspects for ICE for 48 hours, even if they would otherwise bond out. Bill sponsor Senator Chuck Edwards says most sheriffs in the state already cooperate with ICE, but some in larger metro areas have refused to.
Those folks took an oath to abide by the law of the state and of the federal Constitution, and I don't believe that they're doing that if they refuse to cooperate with a federal law enforcement agency.
A similar bill was vetoed last session. That one required sheriffs to check the immigration status of every person in custody, while this one would require it only for violent crimes. The bill passed both the House and Senate on party lines, with Democrats like Marcia Morey opposed, saying it will result in people being wrongly held in custody.
It's still not a good bill 2 years later. I think it still violates the civil rights of people with names that don't sound like Smith and John.
Representative Ricky Hurtado is the state's only Latino lawmaker.
Regardless of the intended impact of this bill, the message the immigrant community receives when they see something like this that will inevitably be in the headlines all across North Carolina today is that there is risk of being separated from their families, regardless of immigration status.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't believe we have profiling going on right now.
Edwards doesn't believe the change would make communities less safe.
I would hope that this time the governor would give serious consideration to the rise in crime that we're seeing in this state.
Now, to be clear, federal law does not require local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE. That is a voluntary program. In the meantime, advocacy groups for Latinos and also the ACLU have already called on Governor Roy Cooper to veto the bill. Back to you, Chris.
And we'll know you'll be watching that to see if that does become the case. Thank you, Laura.